Well, it was never the case. I mean, I've recounted it in the book too, where within a couple of decades after the death of Prophet Muhammad, the it was a theology which spurred that the tribe, the community, to go on a world conquest and to expand that. And one of the main driving features was to subdue the infidels. And so within a couple of decades after his passing away, almost the whole of central Asia, northern Africa, and places like Egypt, Syria, Palestine, all of these, and the Sassanid Empire, all these empires too collapsed to the might of the Arab sword. And so they had a vast kingdom in about 80 years after his passing away, which expanded almost touching the shores of the Atlantic on the west and the gates of India on the east. Where was, if it was only economic, which was important, economic reasons were important, but there was a very, very strong religious and theological drive too, which kept them coming all the way. And much later, even when Timur comes and attacks Delhi, he did not want to conquer Delhi. He did not want to colonize India or anything. And but the his main grouse was the Delhi sultans were not doing enough for the sake of Islam, and so he,
Right.
to teach them a lesson, he comes all the way, and on one day he puts about 1 lakh people to death in Delhi. So religious driver was so important, and this is something that's exemplified in the court historians' accounts themselves. I mention this often about how when Mahmud of Ghazni came to the Somnath temple, when the priest there offered him money to, take, if you want money, that is all that you need, you take this money and go away and save our deity. He very clearly tells that, and this is recounted by historians of the times, whether it's Farishta or Al Baruni or whoever else, that Minhaji Siraj, that if I do this, that I accept money and go away, I will be called a trader of idols. Whereas I want to be known, my legacy should be known as someone who's a destroyer of idols. I want to be known as Butch Shikan. So this was a very, I mean, how many idols, how many temples you broke was actually recounted by their court chroniclers with pride, that this was done to exalt the true faith. So when that was the contemporary records, today ex post facto we are looking at that and giving this justification that all this was done only for monetary reasons. Now even about the Mughals, this I know that this argument is made very often, that they stayed back here, etc. But Angus Madison, in his account, he talks about how, while the percentage share of India's GDP in global economy might have increased then, the per capita GDP of Indians was a steady decline at the even the heights of the Mughal Empire. So of course they amassed wealth, they kept it to themselves, but it didn't do anything for India or for Indians. The amount of money that went to each Indian was actually on a steady decline, and so I don't understand how it makes any difference to the country or its people that they actually stayed here and so on. They
Right.
The projects that they undertook were all for their own lavish spending and luxury, and hardly anything for public welfare or interest.